Here's my piece of tubing, and after measuring, it looks like we're going to need 18.5 inches. So I have plenty of tube left over if I'm wrong, but this tube looks to be about 1/4 inch thick, and it has a 3-inch center diameter. Before I cut the tube, I need to know exactly how long the tube is going to be. So I need to make the actual piece that crushes the can first, because I need to know how much of an extension that's going to add to the rod. Ideally, you would have one solid piece of round stock, and you would turn it down to fit inside of the pipe, and then drill and tap the center. But I don't have my lathe up and running at the moment, so I have to find another way to do it. So how do you make a precise diameter that would fit inside of the pipe? And what I did was I took a piece of 3-inch pipe, I cut it, and so now I have a perfect diameter. Then I took a hole saw and I cut this, and this is about 2.25 inches. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay that inside here and then weld it up solid. And then it really doesn't matter if this is off or not, because I'll get my complete roundness from this pipe. And whenever I weld a nut to the back of this, I just have to make sure that nut is centered. So I'm going to go ahead and get this welded up and see how it fits. Still glowing red, but there you go. A perfectly round puck. That will be the actual crusher. All right, let's see how it fits. Here is our puck. Still a little warm, but let's see how it fits. So fits in there. There's a little bit of a burr on the edge of that tube, but it fits in there really nice. All right, let's see how it fits. Okay, top to bottom, we're 17 inches. And minimal, just under 5 inches. With the cylinder fully engaged, we are getting about 1.75 inches at the top of the tube here. I think that may be a little bit too long. I know that from what I've researched that these cans crush down to just over 1/4 inch. So I think I want to go ahead and take about 1 inch off of this. So that looks a lot better. It's gonna crush that can nice and small. I've got it laid out where the pieces of the pipe I need to cut. So this section down here needs to cut. This is where the can will drop from the bottom. And this section up here I'll need to cut out. This is where you will load the cans in place. So I'll get the grinder out and I'll get these sections taken off of the pipe. I got the base finished. I cut all the openings out of the tube. We have this top opening, we have a bottom opening, and then I welded the bottom piece on. So this was my test piece, just to make sure all my measurements were right, to make sure things are going to function properly, and it came out as expected. There are some areas of improvement that I need to make. For instance, this square piece on the bottom, I would prefer a round piece here. The square piece is the backing plate, so when the puck comes down and crushes it, it will hold the can in place. Eventually I'll change this out to a round plate. Also, you might notice the width of the opening here is fairly large. So the reason for that is because I wanted this to be able to take the largest can that I could find. So I went out and purchased a couple cans, and the largest cans that I could find were pretty large, larger than I guess I paid attention to. So I've got a couple different cans, and they're pretty big. So I'll just go ahead and start with the first one. Is a good old Bud Light can. Look at that sucker. The thing is huge. So let's get a measurement on this. We're right at 8 inches tall. And it's and we're just under 3 inches wide. So that's a big can. Make sure that it fits. So that fits good. And then it'll push down and crush like so. So cleared that. But this is not the king of cans. Or should I say, it's not the monster. The Bud Light is not to be outdone by this Monster Energy can. So really, the only difference is this cap, removable cap. And that's what the Monster can has got on it. So if we measure this, this is coming in at 8.5 inches tall. And same width, right at about 3 inches. So they're the exact same can. The Monster just has the removable cap on it. So that adds a 1/2 inch. It's slightly higher than just a 1/2 inch, but that adds some length to it. So let's make sure this fits. So you can see right there, that's a tight fit right there. Just barely clearing it. But if you put it in at an angle and drop it in, no problem at all. So, like I had said, this is a test piece so that I could make sure that all these cutouts were correct. I have this puck, and the puck is what's actually going to do the crushing of the can. So I want to minimize this opening here, and I've already tested it out, but I can actually take 1 inch off of this opening, because by sliding it in this way, it frees me up. About 1 inch. So for my next piece that I make, which I'm not going to do that anytime soon, it'll be a little while before I get to it. I'm going to actually extend this piece, this portion down here, 1 inch. And the reason why I'm going to do it down here is because the weakest point of this tube is going to be right here. This is going to be the weak link, and all the pressure of the can crushing will be absorbed in this area. So the thicker I can make this, the stronger it will be. So for the second one, this will be wider. This opening will be smaller. I think I will also make this opening smaller too. I made this a little large just to be safe, to clear these cans when they drop from the bottom. But I'll be testing that out and seeing what the proper length of this is also. So we're ready to put it on, try it out, and make sure everything fits up. All right, it fits good. Let's test it out. I'll give you a look at the bottom where the can drops off. You can see it'll smash it down to just above a ½ inch there, and then as the puck backs off, it's got this space to drop down. I've got the holes drilled in the back tube of the frame, and I'm going to tap them for this air inlet port. The tap is a ½ inch fine thread. I'll tap the hole, and then this should fit into place. I'll tap these two as well, and those will be the outlets. Okay, I got all the parts fabricated, and now I got them prepped, clean, and ready for paint. So one more thing about my Uncle Lee is he loves John Deere, and I recently just found that out. We were in Langston's, and he happened to walk across a John Deere belt, and he lit up like a little kid. So that was the first time I realized how much he loved John Deere, and because of that, this is going to be his John Deere. So I've got some John Deere green here. I'm going to paint the whole thing John Deere, and then I got a special badge that I'll badge it whenever it all comes together. Got all of our painted parts here on the stand, and I let it dry overnight, so we're ready to start putting that back together. All right, go play in the dirt, John Deere. We got really lucky. The last piece of the puzzle showed up today, and I am scheduled to present the can crusher to my uncle tomorrow afternoon at his birthday party. So this is it. I'll show you what it is. It's the valve actuator. Comes to us all the way from China. So here we go. It's got 5 ports, 2 inlet, 2 outlet, and then an exhaust. So I'm pretty excited to get this thing wired up, make sure that it's working right. So I will start putting everything together. All right, I got it all put together, and I've got my solenoid valve connected. It took me a minute to figure out exactly all the positions at the ports. This is a 5-port valve. I believe they call this a 3-2, but it has a 1 inlet valve, 2 outlet valves, and then 2 exhausts. So that makes up the 5 ports. Have this plumbed in, so I'm going to plumb the rest of this and see how it works. I've got my air inlet going in here. I've got an outlet, 2 outlets, one for the top, one for the bottom. This will be my bottom outlet, and this will be my top. This is the outlet for the valve, but it also acts as the inlet for the cylinder, and then the exhaust for the cylinder. The air will come back out through here and out this port. One last check on all my connections. Good to go. And I'll go ahead and hook up the air supply. Got my air supply here, hooks into the bottom. So I don't hear any hissing, so that means I don't have any leaks. That's a good thing. All right, let's give it a shot. I got these up here. These are mufflers and speed adjusters. So they muffle the exhaust, as well as this knob here can change the speed of the solenoid. So we'll try and slow it down a little bit. You see how slow it made it there? Slow it down a little bit more. And let's speed it up. All right, we're just about done. I have one final touch. So this can't be complete without a little bit of branding. So I've got a couple stickers here. I'll apply one to the top. Okay, like so. We have one last jewel to top this off. Okay, here it is. This is the topper. 1/4 inch plate, sets right on top. All right, that's it.